Hi there, LW222 students. Welcome back. I hope you had a great spring break. I know it seems like it flies by, at least it does for me usually, but hopefully you enjoyed it and had some downtime, and now you're ready to go for the rest of the semester. So we're on the downslope. We have 7 weeks left in the course, so we're over halfway through. So let's keep plugging away and finish up the semester strong. If you look again at your weekly schedule, you'll see that for week 9, you're going to be reading 2 chapters again in your book, chapter 17 and chapter 18. Chapter 17 deals with allergies, food allergies, and intolerances, and the difference between the two, and how we can, how a food allergy occurs, and our body's immune system response to it, and ways that we can try to prevent or help remedy when we do suffer some of those food allergies. So that's chapter 17. And then chapter 18 gets into the different types of fats. So we're going to talk about the smart fats versus the bad fats. So remembering that those good fats are your unsaturated fats, so mono and polyunsaturated fats, and your omega-3s and your omega-6s. Those are all considered heart-healthy fats. And then, of course, your bad fats would be things like saturated fat, cholesterol, foods that contain cholesterol, and also trans fats. So you'll get into, some differences between the 3 of those. Note that I have graded your personal diet analysis assignments, so you'll be able to see your letter grade on those particular assignments. Excuse me. So go ahead and take a look at that. Also, this week for your work, in addition to reading those 2 chapters, make sure you're doing everything in week 9 module that covers chapter 17 and 18. So if we go back to our week 9 and 10, this module here, and then go ahead and take all of the assessments that go along with chapter 17 and all the ones that do cover chapter 18 as well, okay? So make sure you're completing those assessments in a timely fashion this week. In addition to that, if you're looking ahead, you'll notice that next week, by next Friday, the 22nd, or next Sunday, I'm sorry, the 22nd of March, you have your first poster board assignment due. So each of you will be assigned a vitamin, and you're going to be putting together a poster board with lots of different information on it regarding your particular vitamin. So as far as the instructions on how to do that, if you go to the content button in e-learning, here you'll see, if you scroll down to the bottom, vitamin and mineral poster board assignment instructions. So we have a couple different things here. So the first one is the rubric, and the rubric is going to basically tell you everything that needs to be included on your poster board. So if you open it up, you'll see that this poster board, just the vitamin one, is worth 20 points, and then you're going to do a mineral poster board here in a few weeks that will also be worth 20 points. So you'll be assigned a vitamin. You're going to create this poster board with some specific information on it. Try to make your poster eye-catchy, but yet informational. What you're going to do when you submit it is you're going to take a photo or a picture of it, and you're just going to put it in the assignment folder in e-learning for grading. So the 20-point breakdown you can see here. First of all, your poster board has to be a certain size. So it has to be at least 22 by 28 inches. It can be bigger than that, but it just cannot be smaller than that. So please keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that just buy one poster board. One side you're going to create your vitamin on, and then you can turn it over, and on the other side you'll create your mineral. So there's no point in spending extra money and buying 2 poster boards. Just purchase one. So some of the information that I'd like to see on your poster board, number 1 is what's the recommended dietary allowance for your particular vitamin. Now, men and women a lot of times are different, so please differentiate between men and women. You do not need to break down all the ages. I know a lot of them will say from 0 to 6 months this much, from 6 to 12 months, and then it goes by age. Just adults. That's all we need to know for this poster board. So what is the RDA for an adult male and adult female? Then I'd like to know what the functions are. Some of your vitamins have multiple functions, so make sure you identify the functions of your particular vitamin. And then also make sure you identify what are some deficiency consequences. So if we don't ingest enough of this vitamin, what negative things can occur in our body? And on the flip side, what are overdose consequences? If we get too much of it, what can happen, right? What are those overdose effects? So most vitamins and minerals have one or even both of those things occurring. Then I want you to give me some healthy food sources. You know, what are some different foods we can eat to increase your intake of that particular vitamin? And then also, I'd like you to identify what you'd have to eat in a day to meet your RDA. So for example, if I need 75 milligrams a day of vitamin C, how much of, some different foods would I have to eat completely in one day to get 75 milligrams? So maybe you're going to put together a meal, or you're going to throw in different foods for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that's going to give you enough of that vitamin C for the day. So make sure you're sharing how much of that food that you need, and then how many different types of foods, that you try to incorporate in one day to meet your RDA for that vitamin. And a lot of you, I think, are going to find that you don't necessarily have to eat a whole lot to make that RDA happen. Lastly, I'd like you to share some interesting facts. Be the research expert. Other than just your textbook, go out and research your vitamin. What are some other, just neat things that you found out, maybe that you didn't know before, regarding your vitamin? And share that with us. And then lastly, and most importantly, make sure it's creative. A lot of students will cut pictures out of magazines and, glue some pictures on their poster board. Some of them like to draw, and they draw a lot of pictures versus just handwriting every single word out. So sometimes when it's eye-catchy like that, you're going to draw people in, and they're going to want to take a look at what your poster has to offer. So that's the breakdown of the 20 points. So make sure you're covering all those very important topics on your poster board before you submit it. Now, as far as what is your assigned vitamin, well, if you go here, back to that same module, vitamin poster board assignments. So if we take a look at this, you will see that I have divvied up the vitamins, excuse me, to many different people. So some people have, more than one person is going to have a vitamin because there's only 14 known vitamins, and there's way more than 14 people in this class. So some of you have the same vitamin, but that does not mean that you're working together on it. You're all working separately and just submitting your own work regarding that particular vitamin. So please keep that in mind as you go through and you create your vitamin. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on how to do that assignment. Like I said, it is not due until next Sunday, March 22nd, okay? But I wanted to give you some time for those of you that like to get, stuff started early. You can always begin that assignment early and even submit it early. So again, that assignment, you're just going to put right here in the assignment folder when you've completed it, vitamin poster board. Okay, so that's where you're going to put that assignment. So other than that, for this week, mainly we need to focus on reading chapter 17 and 18 and completing the chapter 17 and 18 MindTap assessments under your week 9 module. Okay, so if you have any further questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask, and I can try to answer those questions as best I can. So have a great day.